high school at the time, in my second to last year of high school, and I interned at the Gagosian Gallery in New York at the curatorial. So I was doing a lot of sort of like archiving research and auction research, things like that. And one day I just realized that there wasn't any women featured for years. There had been this one woman who I love called Tatiana Truve that had a show there, but besides that, only men, and mostly white men. So it was like an urge for me to just make a change in that way. I was in a school at the time that was for performing arts and visual arts, so there was a lot of people around me that were very young people making stuff and doing things, and that was really inspiring. So I just turned to the girls and the women at my school first, and really used their work and their voice as a tool to start to make a change, if that makes sense. This new issue is very important for me in that way, to sort of, each issue becomes more aware of a certain social issue around the bigger woman picture. So this is a collection of interviews of transnational women who don't live in their home per se, or where they grew up. So they've been displaced and in some ways have moved and are working from a place that might have become their home now or not. So I really wanted to focus this whole collection of interviews on these voices of people that sometimes find home through their work, sometimes they find home through their families. And sort of, there are all of these artists that make work in a different place than the one they were burning. Anyone can participate, it's constant open submissions. Anyone from any social background, any any ethnicity, any sexuality. It's just a very open concept. It started really like sort of women only, but it's opening up through the years. I would say, like, not sounding like the MTA too much, but like do something. That's anyone, but especially us in sort of like in Western countries, in countries that have these opportunities, in cities like New York that have these opportunities for women, for young girls. If you're in one of these communities already, it's a huge privilege, and you should do something with that privilege. It's like mixed feelings. Every day it changes. Like, there are some days where you wake up and you're like, gosh, damn, like nothing's gonna change. But I think overall, at least for the issue that I'm working on, you can't really like be a superhero and change everything. I think for what I'm working on changing, which is the representation of like marginalized groups in the arts, it is changing. It's slow, like everything. Any social movement is slow, and there will be like sort of contrast within the movement. But I'm positive. I think it's changing. I live in New York, which is part of the United States, which like makes me hopeless every day of like what's the history of this country and what's going to happen to us. So that's the negative feeling of it, is the world leaders are sort of the ones that are supposed to be the most aware, and they're the least aware. I was watching Greta and the climate march, and just like everything rests in the youth, basically. The world leaders are not gonna make it change right now. So I think we're young, and we can make a change in a way. So, but I'm positive it's changing. Yeah.
Sorry, how old are you?
21. Yeah. Still kind of young. Is that okay? It's just like I'm young. Like, yeah.